Guys of a Certain Age is brought to you by no one. Absolutely no one. Except these dudes walking down memory lane. Now let's head to the studio to see what they misremember next.
It's the podcast that's like deodorant. It's cool, calm, and collected. It's Robbie Koblenz, Guys of a Certain Age, in studio alongside
Art Shirley
and Jay Reed.
Do you agree with that assessment, Jay?
I'm still trying to figure out what you meant.
We're cool, calm,
calm. Well, with the deodorant, the collected is the word that I didn't quite.
But that's what the ones they use: cool, calm, and collected.
I forget. I forget. Maybe degree. That was a slogan for degree when it first came out.
I guess that means having your stuff together.
Yeah. Maybe speed stick. I don't remember one of those. So
I'm in and.
That's right. That's right. Who are you?
Worked a lot better than their slogan that like they would show a guy going on a date, and it's a men night. Sorry.
That's Art Shirley.
That's right.
And this is Jay Reed.
Yeah, we said it already.
Yeah,
did you?
We did.
I don't remember.
Yeah, we said
that's
it.
Okay. My blood sugar's low and I'm about to go to sleep. So.
Okay.
Anyway, all right. Let's jump into some geeks of the week. Art, you said you actually have one.
I have a geek of the week.
Why
I
don't
saw
you-
a stat on the recent summer blockbuster Deadpool and Wolverine, which we may or may not be hearing more about later. There were 116 F-bombs in the movie. The movie had a running time of 127 minutes. And you got to figure some of that's opening and closing credits. And there were, for those of us that have seen it, there were extended fight scenes with little or no dialogue. So trying to figure out what the F-bomb per minute average is, I think it puts it way up on the Sorry Mrs. Reed scale as far as This movie is rated SMR, not just R. Sorry Mrs. Reed. It was we all thoroughly enjoyed it, but wow.
I think the amount of language in this one film equals all the language in every Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh yeah, easy.
Yeah,
easy
combined. Yeah.
And some just at the writer's table, I'm sure, because it was a lot.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought that was an interesting factoid to share.
It is.
Yeah. I've seen an interview with Blake Lively, who is Ryan Reynolds' wife, is in some movie.
The End of Us.
What's that?
The End of Us.
Which is out now.
And so the romantic lead in that.
Did you see him interview the
Yeah,
lead?
it was great. It was just
hilarious.
great. Now,
I haven't seen that. What?
Yeah. Basically, it's a press junket. And I forget who's Zach. No, what's the guy's name?
God, I don't even know.
Anyway, the lead sitting there, and Ryan Reynolds pops in. And,
Like he's the next reporter. To
yeah.
come.
He's like,
that's
so
hilarious.
I've got this photo of you and Mrs. Reynolds. Do you have pet names for her, or you just call her Mrs.? And it's like, it's one of these suggestive photos, and then it's pretty hilarious. It's uncomfortable. Then Ryan's mom sits down to interview the guy, and then Jackman sits down and is like, "Why are you trying to break up my best friend's marriage?" It's
I gotta
hilarious.
check that out.
You've got to look at it.
It's on Ryan Reynolds' Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, excuse me, best mate. My best mate's marriage.
Yeah,
it's pretty funny.
That's Hughes, Australia.
Yeah. That's not my geek though. So, but that was a lot of fun. So, lots of language.
Hugh and Blake are on like a cover or an ad for something for Vogue.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's like in a tux, and
Yeah,
she's dressed up like, and it has kind of a '60s looking hairstyle.
And she's like best friends with Taylor Swift.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't. Yeah.
Oh yeah, she was at some Chiefs games I think this year.
Was she?
with Taylor?
Well, Ryan Reynolds was there in one of them. He said, it's very humbling to go and be captioned as Taylor Swift and friends.
Yeah. Put you in your place. Put you in your place. So, all right, my geeks is my geeks is my geek B.
Mrs. Reed is not going to like that English
Yeah,
either.
well, that's okay. It's my podcast. So
It's not. our podcast.
That's right. That's right. I've got your replacement.
Finally
buddy.
got it.
Just go with it, Jay. We're absolved of all guilt.
That's right. That's right.
It's Robbie's podcast.
That's right. You just got all liability removed from you. Did you guys watch Scrubs when it was on?
Oh, I love Scrubs.
You love Scrubs?
Yeah,
what
a
about
little
you,
bit,
Jay?
a little bit, yeah.
That was probably during the time you were out of the country.
Could have been.
Oh, very probably. I'm sure it was.
Yeah. I didn't watch Scrubs.
I'm familiar with it, though.
It's pretty funny. And
Yeah.
Zach Braff and I forget the other lead's name. Who they're
Donald. No, that's the Donald.
They're doing all the
T-Mobile commercials.
Yeah, they're hilarious. Anyway, there's
But go ahead.
there's speculation that they're going to reboot.
I saw that.
Scrubs.
Yeah.
And
Are they involved?
yeah, I think
Okay,
they'll be
good.
involved. There's talk of them, 10 years later, that type of thing. So anyway, it could be a lot of fun. I don't know if it'd be quite as irreverent as it was when it came out. I mean, it had a lot of. It's one of those shows that had comedic sound effects. It had,
Had a bunch of stuff that would
bunch
be
of gags.
His imagination that you'd see.
Yeah, but that could be fun. That could be a lot of fun.
Really, really like the show.
Yeah. So, but
Donald Faison is the guy's name.
yeah, he's
Sarah
hilarious.
Clark was also in it.
I don't know Sarah Clark.
She was the blonde doctor. She had another name too. Elliot Reed. She was the love interest for Zach Braff at one point. Also, one of the characters in it was Neil Flynn, who went on to be in The Middle, the sitcom The Middle, and he came on. It was supposed to be like a one shot deal episode, and he started improvising his own lines. And it was so funny that his character continued for the whole rest of the run of thing, and all his lines were always improvised.
Really?
I don't know if all of them were, but they would give him the situations that here's
Which
what it was.
which
He
character
was the janitor. And,
Okay.
yeah. But it was hilarious. It was a good show.
Well, it's a possibility of it coming back. So
Okay, good
that
deal.
might be.
I'll look forward to that. Hopefully, it will live up to expectations or exceed them.
There you go. Yeah, Neil Flynn and John C. McGinney.
Yeah.
Easy for me to say. So,
Dr. Cox.
yeah, hilarious.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I may have to find it and stream it at some point. It's actually on Hulu, which you've got in your bundle.
That's right,
Art.
my bundle. Yeah.
Yeah. So
As long as I have it.
as long as you have it. So, Jay, you got a geek?
I do. Yes, I'm sticking with the Deadpool theme. In Pym's Test Kitchen on the Avengers campus in Disney's California Adventure. We've talked about that before when it first came out.
Now,
Well,
where's California Adventure located?
in California?
Okay.
In Disney?
It is in near
Anaheim?
Disneyland. Yeah, it's part of that Disney complex over there. And so they have this. I guess it's a seasonal thing. The menu lists a chimichanga. So, but
Of course it does.
I saw on Food Beast today that I don't know if it's a variation of that, but he called it the Deadpool chimichanga, and it's kind of it looks like a chimichanga on the outside as far as like the kind of a golden brown fried tortilla, but it's got 3 slashes on it, and inside there's like a red tortilla, so you get the red underneath the gold, kind of I guess Wolverine slash, who knows, and it looks like a good. The guy actually didn't make it look very good, but when you read the ingredients, it sounds good. But I was looking into it. Apparently, there is an association with Deadpool and chimichangas that.
Oh yeah, that's Deadpool's favorite meal.
Well, actually, it's not. That's what I learned is that.
Sorry.
Over the course of his appearances, he talked a lot about chimichangas, and so people made out like he liked them. But then there's an actual reference that says he really is not crazy about the food. He just likes the way the word sounds.
Of course.
So anyway, of course, in the movie, it's shawarmas, but
Yeah.
But anyway, I just thought that would be a fun little food geek.
I have never been to foodbeast.com. This is fascinating.
When you said foodbeast.com, I said, I've never heard you mention that one before.
I haven't. I didn't know it was there.
Food Beast.
Food Beast.
But I'll be following it now.
Yeah, I tell you what, kimchi butter is the star of this one-of-a-kind King's Hawaiian sandwich. It looks fascinating. Velveeta is serving up its own cheese wheel pasta.
Yeah, see, there's no shortage of food things that I follow.
Shake
on
Shack
Instagram.
partners with Tide to offer complimentary dry cleaning. So there is a
Oh, that's hilarious.
There's a sauce insurance card that comes with the meal in case you get sauce on your
That is
shirt.
too funny.
Yeah,
That's great.
And
Great
KFC
promo.
has debuted fried cookie dough bites in Australia.
Ooh, see, not going there anytime soon either. But we really have to find a way to take a year off, get a sponsor, and go to these places.
Let's do that sooner rather than later.
I'm with you. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. All right. Let me know when you have a sponsor.
All right, we'll keep we're begging for it now.
Yeah. All right. So is that it? We've all done our geeks.
We
I think
have.
so.
Wow. All right. So we're going to break a fourth or fifth or sixth wall and talk Deadpool up next. And my podcast is back, and I've allowed Jay to show back up. So, Jay, are you still here?
I am, yeah, despite the fact that you tried to replace me not 35 minutes ago.
It was more like 45 minutes.
45
ago.
minutes.
Stephen Dribble wanted to.
Oh, okay.
He's been griping because every time I share the podcast on my LinkedIn feed, he always like, yep, still haven't been invited. Still haven't been invited. So he was in here when Jay came.
He's
And
kind of like the Matt Damon of. Jimmy Kimmel always said, Matt Damon, no, we don't have time for Matt Damon. So.
yeah. Well, and I asked Stephen, have you ever listened to the podcast? Well, no. So you don't know what it's about? Well, no. So it's like, well, you come up with a subject and we might talk about it.
That's right.
But you got to do the work. Jay does the work. That's what
Jay does the work.
Jay does the work. He does more work than you or I.
Absolutely.
He comes up with great ideas. He writes down ideas. He writes down our ramblings.
He's right. So we reject those.
And then we talk about something else.
No, most of his stuff we do.
Oh, yeah. There was the, and then the,
That thing, yeah.
Well, I mean, this show is his idea.
Oh, was it
Deadpool.
really?
Yeah, he said, let's do Deadpool and Wolverine.
hey, how about
Did I?
that?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to
Only
give you
the
credit.
single most
appreciate
popular
it.
movie in the country right now. Nobody else is talking about it. Why don't we?
Right.
Yeah, so let's talk Deadpool Wolverine. The three of us went on a Thursday night. And
It was a great kind of show. I'm just
Yeah.
going to tell you.
let's go ahead. I should have programmed some beeps in here.
just
so.
random.
Well, Jay, what did you think about said movie?
I thought it was very good. A couple of things specifically that stood out. One, I was expecting the R rating. I knew it was
Yes.
going to be rough. It was a little bit harder than I
Harder R than
I thought it would be. And I actually heard Ryan Reynolds say he was proud of Disney.
I saw that same
for
thing.
letting him go
Yeah.
as hard R as they did. So
I think they were surprised.
yeah. You think?
I think Sean Levy or Levy
yeah.
and Ryan Reynolds were surprised that they went as hard let them go as hard
Yeah.
as hard. Yeah.
Yeah. So they did have the Kevin Feige can't have cocaine on there, but of course they made fun of everything that they were told to do. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, that was one thing. But I still enjoyed it. The other thing that I thought it did for me was it. On one hand, it redeemed the whole multiverse thing that I don't love. I think it kind of redeemed it, made it work, and also made fun of it at the same time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's the kind of the two main things. I loved all the cameos. There were some extremely surprising ones, and we can say spoiler alert now. As you go through the interweb, there's really nothing left to spoil.
Yeah.
It's all out there. So you don't listen to this or don't go on the internet until you've seen
Or
it.
just go watch it now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Stop
whatever you're
pause,
doing.
Go watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
And you're back. Okay, yeah,
That's right.
There you go.
also I want to see it. I don't know if I'll go back to the theater again and see it, but I definitely want to watch it again because I'm certain I missed lots of references.
Yeah, just saying the same thing. I thought about going to see it in the theater. I think Becky may actually like it, but I think we might just wait and watch it when it comes on. I guess it'll be on Disney.
Yeah,
I mean,
should
you know.
be. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can pause it and
What was your biggest surprise in the movie?
Johnny Storm.
Yeah, mine too.
Really?
Yeah, and you had heard about it.
Yeah.
You mentioned something, and I knew there was something about Johnny Storm, but by the time this scene came up, I had either forgotten about it or just thought that that's not the way they were going with it.
I had no idea.
And I think I knew there was a Fantastic Four thing.
Yeah.
But Chris Evans is found in what was the name of the wasteland kind of place that they were in?
Oh, I forgot.
And it didn't matter.
gosh.
That's where you get.
Half the movie took place there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, Loki Land.
Yeah,
I guess.
Loki Land, basically. Yeah. And so
Which you really kind of need to see Loki to understand.
I think of all the things that you might have seen beforehand, even probably more so than the other Deadpool movies. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know that you necessarily
Yeah.
need to see the other Deadpool.
Because if you don't know what the TVA
and
is.
then Logan, you're given the backstory you need or the exposition you need for which they even make fun of exposition in the movie, so that you understand what's going on if you haven't seen Logan.
Yeah.
But the TVA thing is very much, you need to have an explanation of that. I think.
The thing that's
Anyway, the scene with Chris Evans where you think he's Captain America and he turns out to be Johnny
flame
Storm.
on.
Flame
and go.
on.
Yeah, it's great. And that was your biggest surprise.
That was my biggest surprise. Yeah.
Yeah.
That and Elektra.
Elektra, but Channing Tatum as Gambit was my biggest.
Yeah,
I did not expect Channing Tatum to have that long of a role of Gambit, because if you look at the whole history there, Channing Tatum has tried to do with Gambit what Ryan Reynolds has done with Deadpool.
For as long a time.
For as long a time, yeah. And he was great.
Yeah, he was. And to your point, I thought that Elektra, Gambit, Blade would all be kind of a short little cameo.
Yeah.
You might have X-23 be. I can see where she would continue in the movie more so, but those three, because everybody else had been just kind of a brief little.
Wesley Snipes as Blade was great.
He was really good. Yeah,
yeah.
He was
the
in Blade,
only
right?
Blade.
He was the original Blade.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
And so
Ryan
far, the only
Reynolds.
Blade. Oh, he was in the third one, Blade Trinity.
Okay. And they did not like each other very much in that movie.
Blade, Blade. Wesley Snipes considers himself a method actor, and he would get into character, whereas Ryan Reynolds is already in character because he's going to play Ryan Reynolds, so he didn't have to do a lot of work.
He was just being annoying to him, trying to get him to break.
Yeah.
And Wesley didn't care for that a whole lot.
And so the scene where they said, "I never liked you," or whatever, I didn't like you, or I don't like you, that was like, I don't like, that was kind of playing. But apparently they've gotten to be
but now
buddies
they're buddies.
Yeah, I saw an interview where he said he had, Ryan texted him and asked me if he wanted to do this, and he was like, "Who is this guy?" What was he? But then he said, "Yeah, I really like him." So
Yeah. How can you not like Ryan Reynolds?
Oh yeah, no kidding. I mean, that's like if you don't like Ryan Reynolds, you're not going to like anything you ever see him in.
Yeah.
But he's good.
It's kind of like Snoop Dogg in the Olympics.
Oh yeah,
who would not want to hang out with Snoop Dogg?
Snoop Dogg every time. It was just great. It'd be fun.
Yeah. So
Snoop Dogg should have been in this.
Oh, that would have been
would have been great. He was the only one not in it.
Yeah. So,
but I thought the marketing too. Just side note, reflected the movie because every possible place they could have gone for marketing, they did. I even saw today one, I think it might have been on Ryan Reynolds' Instagram, where it was a player piano with stained glass, sort of a bit on where the music would go, and it had just stained glass of the Deadpool mask and all that. Anyway, it played like a prayer and showed some scenes. I mean, who thought of that?
No kidding. I mean, that was just bizarre.
So I mean, the movie was
Honda
extreme.
Odyssey that they were in.
Oh yeah, Honda, yeah.
So I'm walking, and now every time I pass one, I go, "Oh my gosh!" Yeah.
But I mean, the marketing was just like the movie, and it was almost too much, but being too much made it what it is.
Yeah.
I guess.
I
in a
was
good way.
surprised. We found out now that Blake Lively plays Lady Deadpool in it, and I was surprised they never showed her face. But to me, that's just kind of the all-in things that they tend to do. It's like, we're going to do this, but you're never going to see who that's.
Well, Sean Levy said that they never intended to show her face.
Yeah.
That they were, they may want to use her later, maybe not, but didn't, want to kind of leave it like that.
But to be able to do that and go to the studios, hey, we're going to have Blake Lively in this, but we're never going to show her face. That's amazing. And I understand that the baby Deadpool was actually supposed to be one of his babies.
And the kid Deadpool was one of his.
Yeah. Okay.
children,
Maybe that's okay.
Yeah, both of them.
Okay.
Both of them.
Both of them were. Okay. Yeah. So that was hilarious. Now, I loved seeing Henry Cavill as Wolverine.
I was going to say,
That was-
yeah. The Cavalrine was great.
Yeah.
I'd seen the
Cavalry.
picture, but I didn't think it was real.
It's because you see so many of those that are faked now, and thought that. But that whole scene was great to me, and everything that Deadpool said about, "We'll treat you so much better than those guys down the street."
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, if they were going to, and apparently Hugh Jackman's going to play him till he's 90, according to Deadpool. But till you're 90.
And all the Wolverines.
Yes,
As he went through the different
I loved the short
multiverses,
Wolverine.
Yeah.
With the
because
the
Wolverine
comic
was
book,
short.
He's 5'3".
Yeah,
the comic book accurate Wolverine was good.
Yeah.
I think the only cameo, maybe Patrick Stewart might have been a good one in there. Do you think
Patrick
that would have
Stewart
taken
been
things
great.
out of
I
there?
read that he was never considered.
Or James
read that.
McAvoy.
Yeah, that's what I wondered. If anybody from X-Men First Class that might have been, good in there. But who they had was great. I don't think they needed to add anybody else.
I think Matthew McConaughey was the voice anyway of Cowboy Deadpool.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I hadn't seen that.
Ryan Reynolds had voiced it, and then McConaughey sent in a
Just a recording of him doing
recording,
it?
and they're like, "Yeah, you're doing it."
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's good. The character of Deadpool, I mean, I think that it's Ryan Reynolds, obviously, but I think that the comic book character I think it works. I think he's just kind of perfectly suited to play that character. You know,
Yeah.
that
I've not read any of the comics.
well, if you read it, I mean, there's a lot of the stuff that's happening on screen is what's happening in the, and sometimes even literally, you'll see a page that's constructed, and Deadpool is breaking those fourth walls and saying those kind of smart alecky kind of things, you know.
when the good looking, not the distorted, disfigured Deadpool, the one that has the dog, and he says, "I can touch the fourth wall too." The proposal.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Nice Pool is who that
Nice
was.
Pool. I was thinking Kind
He's
Pool,
like,
but it's
he's
Nice
like,
Pool.
I can gently break the fourth wall as well. The proposal. That's hilarious.
And he had no healing factor.
Oops.
Oh,
I mean,
gosh.
you know,
And it wasn't like he did it and then said, "Oh no, he didn't have it." He walks him back through again, you know, so as a shield for the bullets.
And my mother-in-law's dog made a cameo appearance.
Yes,
as
that's what I
Dogpool.
kept. Yeah, I kept looking at you, going, "Oh my gosh, that's your mother-in-law's
That's
dog."
my mother-in-law's dog. Yeah.
not literally.
My mother-in-law's dog has no teeth. It's a Chihuahua.
Well,
with
yeah, I know.
wild hair.
I've heard stories.
It
I've
has
seen
no
pictures,
teeth, and
but
the tongue comes out the side.
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
looks all
Yeah.
just scarily.
And then
like
you should
Dogpool.
just lick the face just over and over again and stuff.
dog
I
pool.
don't
So-
lick my.
So I've heard there will not be a fourth Deadpool. It's hard for me to believe given the money it's gotten because it's the highest R-rated movie. I thought it was the highest R-rated comic book movie, but it's the highest
R-rated movie.
as far as opening weekend, yeah.
It displaced the Passion of the Christ.
Yeah.
which led to a
Oh,
very
yes.
irreverent
Prepare your sorry,
headline.
Mrs. Reed's now.
Yeah, Marvel Jesus outpaces actual Jesus.
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
Because that's how Deadpool referred to himself at one point. He thought, I mean, the whole thing about him joining the MCU.
Yeah.
And now, I will say this. The end credits scene that we saw, or the over credits thing that we saw, there was an end credits scene too, I believe, right? Wasn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, the tribute to the Fox films, because they just slammed Fox all throughout the thing,
Right.
which is what Deadpool was from and what the X-Men were from. But they showed, I mean, it was just very loving tribute to those movies. And you're sitting there going, this at a time, this was all we had, and we loved them.
Yeah.
You know, and they hold up if you go back and watch them. Some of them do anyway. Some of them do not.
No.
But the first one especially, and I think First Class does.
Yeah.
But so that was kind of nice to see that.
I wish there had been a shot of as Chris Evans as Johnny Storm is plummeting to the ground. They would have cut away to Michael B. Jordan who played Johnny Storm. I was like, I never would have done that.
Yeah, that's right. That's why I'm Killmonger. No,
Yeah.
wait. No, he's
by
not
the-
Kill.
Yeah.
Is he? Am I got that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He was Johnny Storm, then he was Killmonger.
Yeah.
He's like,
everybody that plays Johnny Storm seems to go on to a better.
yeah.
Better gig.
It should have been like,
Yeah.
something like it would have been hilarious.
And Johnny Storm's death scene was wow. That was pretty intense too.
Yeah. Boom.
But also I do remember the end credit scene now.
Yeah.
It's Chris Evans delivering the thing. Okay, so they said we can have cue cards for you. He said, "No, I'm coming in off book on this thing. I've got it memorized." And he did, and it's like a couple minute long monologue,
It was a rant.
filthy monologue. And I noticed that Chris Evans' Boston accent came out when he did that delivery of that thing. It seems like he kind of felt right into it, but he loved it. I think he really loved playing with the Captain America persona and having a chance to do something that was more Ryan Reynolds as opposed to Captain America.
Yeah. Yeah. That would have been, a lot of fun. Highly recommended.
And by the time this episode airs, it will have surpassed $1 billion worldwide.
You
It's
know
like-
this for a fact.
Much like this
It's
episode.
like, well, as we, yeah, right.
$1 billion Monopoly dollars.
right.
Yeah.
It's like 983 million now.
Unless somebody gets wind of this podcast.
Right. Yeah.
Tanks it.
Yeah.
Let's
That's
delay
right.
it for a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Just crazy. A lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Yeah. And like I said, I can't imagine that Deadpool won't appear again somehow.
He's got to show up.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not a standalone movie, but he's
Yeah.
got to show up.
Yeah.
And I would love to see Hugh Jackman again. So what did you guys?
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
What did you think about Hugh Jackman in the comic accurate?
I'm
uniform?
telling you, I got a little emotional seeing it.
Yeah.
It was great seeing him in the yellow costume first of
Yeah.
all, but when they're walking and he pulls the cowl over his eyes,
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, because I never thought I'd see that. You know, we had seen some what I thought at the time was fan art of that thing in there, which I think may now have been a real shot of it. But I just never thought he would do that, and he pulls it over. Of course, I won't
thought it
mention.
was-
I won't mention how Deadpool describes.
I was going
it.
to say,
That
I
took
like
you-
the cow, but I cannot get that other.
Yeah, I was like, I went from choked up to like, oh, okay. Yeah, that took the emotion right out of it. But I mean, it was, and the whole thing was like that. I mean, the dance scene at the beginning to "Bye Bye Bye" by NSYNC, which is not him. They've given credit to the dancer that did that now. But gosh, dog, that was just playing with the skeleton
Yeah, that was hilarious.
in some bizarre ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Deadpool kind of reminds me of Bugs Bunny a bit. That's that same irreverent kind of,
Oh, it's irreverent.
Yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt. So,
Bugs Bunny for the 21st century.
yeah, and beyond. Sean Levy, who directed it, did a great job. He did Deadpool 1 and 2 as well, right?
Yes.
And so I think his next project is a Star Wars film.
Really?
So he's hinted at it. Don't really know what's going on, but I would think Mr. Levy will be able to pull pretty much anything he wants after helming $1 billion, according to Jay in the future, $1 billion movie.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of those out there. So anyway, yeah, pretty fun.
Yeah.
Pretty
I'm
fun.
wondering if it's going to be a hard R as well.
Star
Star Wars. With a capital R at the end.
Yeah, with a capital R at the end. It's a double R.
Ah,
Yeah.
Star.
Yeah, there you go. So, all right. So we all recommend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you go again for a matinee if it was cheap?
I might, yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm kind of considering that, wondering if it might.
I did miss about 2.5 minutes of it, so I would have to
And they were key
get up
to
at
2.5
another time.
minutes.
Well, that's what the Run P app did say. This is important, but it's easily summarized.
It's
And
exposition, I think, is a lot of it.
So I'll go back.
Exposition.
I'll go back and watch
More
it.
exposition.
At some point, yeah.
Being exposed.
I knew what I was missing, but it was the best time to go.
Yeah, there you go.
To go.
All right. Well, I guess that'll do us this time around. We'll see you next week.